Hi, Arabella McPherson. How do you have those difficult conversations? Well, the first step always is to self regulate because usually a difficult conversation comes up unannounced. You're having a meeting, you're in an interaction, and suddenly you stop feeling good. And as soon as you stop feeling good, you want to self regulate, which means taking long, slow, deep breaths. Become aware that your emotional state is changing and you're slipping from okay space into a level of stress or distress. So, first of all, whoa, okay, this is going south quickly. And I always validate by saying, I'm perfect, I will always be perfect, and that's okay. You might have a different version or a way of helping you self validate or speak to yourself in a positive way. It's like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's all right, you got this. You got this. Whatever works for you. I have a phrase that I'll always go to. Mine happens to be I'm perfect. I will always be perfect, and that's okay, which I find quite funny because no one is perfect and perfection doesn't exist, but it does make me laugh. So, long, slow, deep breaths. Okay, this is not going well. Self regulate. Then you want to validate. Acknowledge how the other person is feeling. That sounds challenging. That sounds like it was a very difficult situation. I can hear the frustration. So start to name the emotional state that the other person may be feeling. You don't want to say you sound frustrated, but it sounds frustrating. So use the third person so it's more removed. And that means that it gives that person an opportunity to say, yes, actually, I do feel frustrated, or I do feel aggravated or confused or angry or whatever it is. It sounds really challenging. So it's that validation of the experience that the other person is having. Third step is then investigate. Help me understand from your perspective what's going on. Walk me through what you've done so far. Can you talk me through step by step what happened? So you're trying to find out more information. Now, the goal is to move that person from this fight, flight, freeze, this reactive state to more of a logical process state. So walk me through what happened. What are the things that you've tried so far? And it gets them into more of a process brain, into their neocortex or logical brain. The only problem here is that sometimes people start to spiral. They get more and more aggravated because they start talking about things that are outside of their control. The best line to use then is, I hear what you're saying. What's the real challenge here for you? Now, we can't say what's the challenge. It's too vague. There are lots of challenges. What's the real challenge gets them more focused on what the underlying issue is. But even better is what's the real challenge here for you, because it makes them responsible for identifying their problem. They're now in control and they can now make decisions and take action for themselves. And finally, we get to advocate. So, what are the two options that we have in this scenario? So, okay, thank you for sharing. These are the options that we have. You'll notice I didn't say, I think we should do this. I is very subjective, and people feel like they're opposing you and your thoughts and your values and your beliefs. Whereas if you use the third person, it's much more authoritative. It seems like we have a couple of options. We either do this or this. What would work best for you? Now, you've given two options that also work for you, and it gives them an illusion of choice. We don't want to tell them we have to do this and only give them one option, because that makes people feel trapped. Three options are too many. People get confused, and if they're in a state of distress, it's very difficult for them to make a decision. So we either do this or this. Now, if they do bring up a third option that doesn't work, you talk through why it's not an appropriate option by looking at the negative consequences of if we chose this third option, and then redirect them to the benefits of option one and option two. Give it a go, practice it. It gets more and more natural over time. Now, as soon as I stop feeling good, I self regulate. I take long, slow, deep breaths. But you need to practice those long, slow, deep breaths when it's not a difficult situation. That means when you wake up in the morning, notice your long, slow, deep breaths. When you're going to sleep at night, long, slow, deep breaths. If you want to get more methodical about it, before every meeting or conversation, take 3 long, slow, deep breaths. And that makes you feel so congruent and centered that when you start that conversation, you're starting from a much different place. If you want to take it to a step further, then join a meditation group or somewhere where you are doing long, slow, deep breaths. Even swimming is great, because every time that you take a stroke, you blow out the air, and that helps. Or singing helps because you're blowing out the air. Those long, slow, deep breaths are so, so powerful. Get them down pat so that when you are in a situation of stress, you can go straight to them and self validate. You got this. I know it's challenging, but it's so worth mastering.